Warm weather like this makes me want to get outside and work on DIY projects. That's exactly what I have planned today with expert handyman Sean Buino. Now Sean has a big project for us today, and by big, I mean as big as this deck.
We're gonna rejuvenate it and then we're gonna stain it. We're doing everything that we have to do to get this baby ready for spring and summer barbecue season.
An electric power washer is a must for the first stage of this project. We'll also use some non-chlorine bleach, a bucket, and a couple of scrub brushes to clean and prep the deck for the stain.
This corner of the deck is gonna be our starting point. We're gonna section off a 5x5 section, and as you could see, this was a heavy traffic area of the deck, and we even have signs of mold and algae that we have to get up before we stain.
Okay, and I see a lot of unprotected wood right here too.
And that's the whole point of this project, is to get this wood protected so the homeowner can have a couple more years before they have to replace the boards.
Sounds good.
Now we have to add a nozzle to our wand. So let's take this white nozzle. This is a 40-degree nozzle.
That's how far it's gonna come out?
That means how far it's gonna go out, exactly. We're set to get started. Let's turn this power washer on.
Sean wets down the small section of the deck until the area is saturated. Then he mixes up some water and non-chlorine bleach in a bucket. Looks like it's scrubbing time.
Now when you're selecting a deck brush, you wanna make sure the bristles are pretty rigid.
Yeah.
So they're a little hard, so they do a little bit of work here. You're gonna see the dirt pull up and the grime pull up. And once we rinse it off with the power washer, we should see dramatic results. And that's really all there is to it. Scrubbing, power washing, getting all of that winter dirt and grime off the deck, preparing it for stain.
Sounds good. Let's finish up power washing this bad boy, wait a couple days, come back, get dirty with some stain.
Let's do it.
We waited a couple days, the entire deck has been power washed, it's a perfect day to stain.
What I brought today was a waterborne exterior deck stain that is going to match this color perfectly. And that was the whole point of this project, is to restore some of the beauty.
And we finally pop open that can of stain. Today is truly the perfect day for this project. It's not too hot and it's not too cold. Make sure you check the back of the can to find the ideal temperature to apply your product.
So Ryan, I brought brushes to apply the stain. Now, when you go to the store to buy supplies, you're gonna see that there's rollers and sprayers and other tools to apply the stain, but I've always found that brushes are the nicest, easiest, and most effective way to apply the stain. You see, we just have a little bit of stain on this brush, and that's gonna be plenty to get started. I'm gently gonna apply it to the deck, very softly. When you're done with your stroke, you want to end it at different points of the board. This could be a long process and a very grueling process. So you don't want to overwhelm yourself. You want to do a small section at a time.
We've got a lot of deck to cover, so I guess it's time for me to grab a brush and get to work. So normally, do you stop at one coat?
We want to put a thin enough coat on where it can dry and cure properly, but we also want it to look uniform. Now there are some certain areas of the deck that will soak in the stain more than others.
Okay.
So we may have to come back the next day for some touch-ups.
We use the same technique on the railings and spindles until the entire deck is complete. Then we just have to wait 24 hours for drying and curing time. This easy yet time-consuming project seems well worth the $50 in supplies. But if you don't already own a power washer, this project will cost you a bit more. Not only does this deck look great, but it's now protected from harsh weather and UV rays. Plus, that outdoor time made for some fun male bonding.
It's always great to recruit some help when you're doing a project like this, because remember, you are under the gun with time constraints. You have to make sure you get a project like this done before it rains.